Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Matt Sonnen, founder and CEO of PFI Advisors. Matt, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me.
And you've spent over 20 years in the wealth management space, over half of that in the RIA industry. What is the biggest trend that you're seeing today?
The biggest trend we're seeing is really the professionalization of the RIA space. RIA owners tend to identify as financial advisors first, and business owners third, fourth, or even fifth. Justifiably so, they focus most of their time and energy on client service and business development, and they tend to focus less on the roles and responsibilities of their team, career paths, operational efficiencies, workflows, etc. But I think after a year and a half of working from home, when these advisors couldn't walk out of their office and drop a sticky note on someone's desk, I think they're starting to take a step back and realize they need to start running their practices as true businesses. So I see many RIA owners making that mental shift now from I'm a financial advisor to I'm an owner of a financial advisory business. And they're starting to bring in professional managers to run the business so that they can focus on clients and prospects.
Where are they finding these professional managers?
Oftentimes they promote from within. Many years ago, I became a chief operating officer of an RIA when the owner, he turned to me and he says, "Hey, you've been around for a while." He said, "You know the clients, you know the employees. Why don't you run operations for us?" I knew the nuts and bolts of the job, but I had never had employees reporting directly to me. So I had a bit of a learning curve with respect to becoming a manager of people. And then on the other side, many RIAs will look outside the industry. They'll bring in someone who's had success in running businesses, but they may not know the ins and outs of wealth management. So they understand how to manage people, but they have a steep learning curve when it comes to trading software or performance reporting tools or billing processes, et cetera.
So I understand that PFI Advisors has built a training ground for these professional managers, whether they've been promoted from within or if they're coming from another industry. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we've recently launched the COO Society. It's a digital consulting platform specifically designed to educate these professional managers. There's a lot of training resources in our industry for compliance folks. There's a lot of sales coaching for advisors. Investors can pursue a CFA or a CFP, but we didn't see a lot of training resources dedicated to these operations folks and really answering that question, how do I run an RIA and position it for growth and profitability? So we've designed the COO Society around 3 core learning paths, which we think are the core responsibilities of these professional managers. We've got technology, human resources, and business administration. And then we drop the courses inside those learning paths. And then we bring in outside consultants and industry leaders for each course to make sure we're bringing as much information to our members as possible around these core topics.
And before we wrap up here, what other trends are you seeing out there?
The RIA space right now is consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. We're seeing a ton of M&A activity and the deals keep getting larger. Fidelity just put out a report that said we've had 48 transactions this year where the seller had more than 1 billion of assets under management. So RIAs are getting bigger and bigger. I think 10 billion is really the new 1 billion with regard to the definition of a large RIA. And I think as these firms continue to get bigger and bigger and more complex, we think the need for professional management is getting greater and greater every day. So it's a great time to be an operations professional inside the RIA space.
All right, Matt, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.